Welcome to Wednesday's Diamond Call or Leadership Call. I'm not sure what we've dubbed it. And today we have a really amazing special guest who it just so happens to be Mrs. Virginia. Is that right? Which is kind of amazing. She's adorable. She also is a 10-star diamond, 5-time elite coach. Her name is Jatana Jackson, and I know all of you guys follow Jatana. She's got the best Instagram. I'm like, it's like a television show for me. I love it. So Jatana and I are doing a call swap today. And so we both were like, okay, what's good? What do you want to share? So Jatana's going to come on and share her best practices. And everyone turn off your TV, your radio, whatever you got distracting you, get your pen and paper out, and let's take some notes. So I'm going to unmute Jatana. Or Leslie's got to do it.
Got it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
What's up, ladies? How are you guys? I'm like so impressed that you guys get on like in the middle of the day. And how many we have? 17, 18. Up, it's filling up. Getting good. Oh, we got a dude. Wait, that's not a dude. That's Anita's husband. What is he in like the other room jumping on a call? That's hilarious. Look at you being all supportive. That's amazing. All right, what is up? Welcome to our Wednesday. Is this a diamond group? Like, are these your rock stars? Not that everybody's not a rock star, but you guys are legit. You're here. You're showing up for your business, and that is absolutely incredible. So, a little bit about me, just to level the playing field a little bit, because I always like to start the call that way to share my story, because our businesses are started by our own personal stories, right? And we wouldn't be here if Beachbody has not touched our lives in a certain way. And I know Anita's is like, I know my team's gonna be crying tonight, I'm sure, but her story is incredible. And it makes us who we are. It makes us relatable to our audiences. And so I always want to start that way. 10-star diamond, all that stuff is cool and all, but we all have a beginning. And my beginning was, I don't know, 6 years ago. I was a stay-at-home mom. I had 2 babies. One was really little and one was like a newborn. And I found myself in this rut of life. You know, you had wished to always get married, have a nice home, have kids, do the things that, you know, women do. And found myself really kind of miserable, tired, depressed, and lonely. And didn't understand why. And I don't know how many of you guys, you can raise your hand if you feel comfortable with this statement. How many have like sat in a minivan in the back, breastfed a baby, had one watching Bob the Builder in his car seat with Chick-fil-A like shoveling it in your mouth? Like that. Yeah, that was that was me. And so there was a moment when I was laying in my playroom with my kids like driving cars over my face. And I was like, something's missing. Something is missing right now, and I am not happy, and I had everything that I'd ever dreamed of in life. I was completely secure in all aspects of life, and I wasn't happy. And so I was like, I got to take a little reality check here. What can I do to make this better? And so the first thing I thought was like, well, I could work out, because apparently like workouts are good for you, and it gives you endorphins. And so I went to Target because I was El Cheapo, and I was like, I ain't buying no $60 DVD, because that tells you my age with Beachbody. I wasn't going to buy a $60 DVD, so I went to Target and I got Julian Michaels DVD. Busted that bad boy out, tried it a few times, started and stopped a bunch of times and got bored. So I saw an infomercial for Insanity, probably while I was up nursing my baby in the middle of the night, and decided to give it a try. I mean, Shanti's easy on the eye. All I had to do was push play, and it was simple. And so I started with Insanity. I started and stopped about 4 or 5 different times. I'm sure that's a lot of our challengers, or even our own stories, where we started and stopped. And so I was sitting in my basement, and I was like, what the heck? Like, I know I can do this. I'm a competitive person. I'm driven, and I cannot get past like day 4 of Insanity. And so I got on my phone, probably like an iPhone 4 at the time, and I'm like, Beachbody, insanity, something help me. I don't know, Googling, right? And I got onto a message board, and this girl popped up on the message board. I don't even know. She ended up being my coach. I don't know who she was at the time. She was out in Utah. And asked her, I'm like, I need help. I'm struggling. I have the DVDs here. I have a desire, but I can't get through it. And so she put me in a challenge group, and that's where all the light bulbs went off. Like, I was like, this is what I needed. I need women in my life who are going to come alongside of me on this journey that is not easy, but that understand what I'm going through. When I have hard days, when I have good days, they're going to celebrate with me. They're going to pick me up when I'm like, give me a kick in the butt when I need it. And so I fell in love with this company and this process organically through my own personal journey. And I try to stay as grounded to that as possible, you guys. If you don't have like a solid understanding of where you came from and why you got introduced to Beachbody, that is what is going to be your message on social media. And that is what I think, why so many people are drawn to, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, why so many people are drawn to me, because I try to stay as authentic to that as possible. No matter how high up I get or how much money I make, nobody cares about all that. What they care about is where you started, how you got to where you are, and how you're going to help them get there as well. And so that's kind of where I was. I signed up to become a coach 6 years ago. And I remember going to our summit in Las Vegas. And here I am, like small town girl, South Carolina, never like had flown across country ever. And I just had this pulling on my heart that I needed to do it. So I flew to Vegas, stayed with my coach who I'd never met before. I met her on Facebook, and sat in the nosebleeds, in the MGM Grand, looking down at all these people walking across stage. Anita was probably walking across stage. I think you were in top 10 that year. You were in top 10, right? What, 2014?
Yes. Yep.
You went to Italy.
No, we went to France.
France, okay.
It was 2015.
But were you at a table where you had to sit at tables and they like danced? Remember when they announced the top 10?
No, okay. I wasn't top 10 that year, but I was at that summit. That was my first summit too.
Okay. Well, that was when I went to, and I was like, oh my gosh, like these people are crushing it, and they are just like me. So if you haven't gone, I'm assuming a lot of you guys have, since you're all leaders on this team. If you haven't, and you just like crush diamond really quickly, get your booty to summit and get your coaches there as well, because it is what's going to really change your business and give you some eye-opening experiences. But it was at that summit where I saw all these coaches and they were crushing it, and I was like, why not me? Why can't I do this? I'm a stay-at-home mom. I got some time on my hands, and not saying you have to be a stay-at-home mom to crush this, but I knew I had time on my hands. I knew I had a desire and a passion to help other women. And so after summit, I just dove in. I went all in. I didn't know what I was doing. I failed forward. I failed a lot. They always say the most successful people fail the most. And so anyways, went into the business, went all in, and now here I am, 10-star diamond, multiple six-figure earner from my bedroom, living now beachside, which has always been a dream of mine. And so let's get to like actual tangible stuff. That's a little bit about me. About 2 years ago, I noticed a shift in social media. And any entrepreneur, when you see things start to change, you see things start to level out on Facebook, for example, you have to adjust your sales. You can't just keep doing the same old, same old. And I have this really cool analogy, and I think it's so applicable to our business. In terms of success, right? You've got 2 feet that move forward, and 1 foot is your learning, and the other foot is your action. And I see so many coaches who either learn a lot, right? You're like stuck in YouTube. How many people have new coaches and they're like, I watch a bazillion YouTube channel or YouTube videos about how to do all this and that, and they don't ever take action. And you can use this analogy for your coaches, but they have to use both feet to move towards success. You've got to learn, and you've got to learn to evolve as things change, but you've also got to take action. to move forward. Because if you only use the learn, you're going to go in a circle, right? If you only take action, which is one of my downfalls, where I'm like, go, 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 don't learn, don't stop, don't do personal development, right? You're just going to go in a circle and you're never, ever going to get to your peak success. And so making sure you're balancing your business with learning and growing alongside with taking, flipping action. And so that's what I did. I noticed that social media was evolving and changing. I was getting really bored with Facebook. I actually remember I told this story at Summit. I remember dropping off my babysitter one night, and I was like, so, I felt all cool. I was like, so you're on Facebook, right? And she's like, no. What? I'm sorry, you're not? No, Facebook's for old people. And I'm like, hold on. What? I'm not old. What are you talking about? She's like, no, we're all on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I took mental note of that, right? I was taking lots of action, massive action. But I was starting to learn that something was changing and evolving. And that is where I really started to dabble into Instagram. And it was at this moment where Beachbody was starting to level out a little bit, and people were getting a little freaked out. They were like jumping ship and going to other MLMs, and wine started infiltrating our business and stuff. And so I'm like, I have got to do something different, and I've got to learn and evolve. And that is where I dove into learning Instagram. And it has revolutionized and revitalized my business. Where Facebook was a great place. I grew to 10-star diamond. I grew to 6 figures on Facebook. I'm not going to discount that, but Instagram is definitely something that has revolutionized now where my business is. And so I kind of want to go over how I use stories to really attract my audience and influence action. Because yes, we get on stories to, share our journey. We get on stories to entertain. We get on stories just because it's fun. But the main purpose, especially as business owners and as Beachbody coaches, to get on stories is to influence action, positive action you want them to take. Do you want them to join your challenge groups? Do you want them to join your coaching opportunity groups, or whatever it is you are pushing for? You have to be really strategic in the ways that you do it. And you got to think like way ahead of time. So, and I'm glad that I'm speaking to all diamond coaches, because it's really cool, because I can actually get down with y'all and not have to fluff it up, right? Make it sound simple. So when I am running a challenge group, I reverse engineer the mess out of that in my stories. And just like we did like with our sneak peeks back in the day on Facebook, right? We would, we'd have a sneak peek, we kind of post and breadcrumb through our posts. It's the same with stories, but you can be really strategic with how you put that out into your stories, so that when you go to do your right hook, old school term, when you go to do your right hook, I don't know if anybody understands that. I think everybody here gets that one. It makes sense to your people. And so when they're watching it, they're thinking, I'm just watching Tana's little live reality show she's got going on here. But really, I'm priming my audience for the action that I want them to take. So I make sure that everything that I'm putting out there, not everything, there's some commercials in there, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but the things that I put out there, I am priming my audience for the action I want them to take. So if I want them to join a challenge group, or I want them to become a coach, I'm spending 2 weeks priming them for that opportunity. And I'm being very strategic about it, and I'm planning ahead. So if you have a challenge group, what's your challenge group name? What is the concept of it? Is it a miracle morning group? Is it a motivated moms group? What is your group going to be about? And then you need to plan out your stories so that it is driven around what your challenge group is going to be about. And we used to do this on Facebook a lot. And you can use the exact same principles on Instagram stories, except for it has to be obviously 15 seconds. It's got to be infiltrated into your life. But you can plug and breadcrumb and drop all kinds of stuff in there that they might not, subliminal, that they might not notice that they're being exposed to, and you have to do it really consistently. So I have some slides here, and I'll share my screen. And if you have, you guys, I don't like to talk the whole time. If you guys have questions, post them in the chat, and I will cover those at the end. But let me share my screen really quick. And this is a presentation I created for an Angie Lee event, but I do want to. All right, if you're OCD, just like don't have a heart attack right now. That's my desk. Look, Leslie's like, wait, are you OCD, Leslie? Yeah, she is. Okay, my desktop's a hot mess. It just tells you that you can make a lot of money and still be a hot mess. All right, here we go. Let me get to my Canva. Yeah, see, look, it's not even like, let's use this. Oh God, what did I do? Hold on. We good? Canva experts, we're good. All right, let me move the chat thing over here. I just want to pull this up so I have the content in front of me so that I can go off of it. I'm going to skip through a few things here. One of the things that I really talked to my team about, and you guys, my IG was at, I don't know, 2 years ago, I had maybe 800 followers. I'm at over 158,000 followers now. And my IG stories are on average 20,000 followers a day. And I pay credit to the fact that I've created an organic community around my life. Like, I bring people on my journey with me so that when they watch it, they feel like they can relate to what's going on in Jatana's life. I don't make it a lot of spam. I don't make it a lot of Beachbody in your face. I make sure that I have a storyline, the beginning, middle, and end throughout my day, so that they feel like they're watching some sort of Jatana sitcom, basically. And you kind of think about, and you can't disappear. You got to be consistent with it. Has anybody here watched The Bachelor? Maybe Bachelor fans? Oh, they're my girls. I'm a Bachelor fan. If The Bachelor were to not show up on Monday night at 9 or 8, whenever it shows up, y'all be like, hold up. I need to know who Colton is going to kick off tonight. And it did not show up. What's going on, ABC? What's up with that? It's the same thing with your stories, you guys. You cannot just disappear. You can't. You got to show up consistently, because people, as much as we think it's weird, sometimes people do lean in on your drive and your motivation and your inspiration and what's going on in your life. And so I make sure I show up consistently. I show up when I don't feel like it. I show up when I don't feel good. And I'm not saying it's got to dominate your life, but one of the things that I know that's an important piece of my business is the consistency aspect of it. And you guys are all leaders on this call, and so you understand that piece of it. But your influence is your income. Your ability to influence action is where your income is going to come from. If you can't influence people by action, to take action based on, in this perspective, we're talking about stories. If you can't influence them to take action, it's not, you're just talking to a bunch of people or 55 people or 30, I don't know how many people watch stories. You're just talking to them and they're just flipping through it. But if you can strategically cause somebody to take action on something that you wholeheartedly love and are passionate about and believe in, you know will change their life, then that is where your income will grow. And that is where Success Club numbers go up. And you're hitting Success Club numbers just by swipe ups, or just by putting out a call to action, five series of stories and a call to action on IG stories. All right, let's get to, I want to get past the fluff, because you guys are all diamonds, and I want to get to how I do that. One of the things, and this is something I think you should emphasize to your team, this is super simple. This is not like fancy pants graphics on IG stories. And I can do fancy pants graphics, but I don't think that is duplicatable on IG stories. So I try to keep my IG stories very simple. And when I do something like this, as much as we look at it as coaches and going, oh, well, I can make that look cuter, I can make that look fancier, your audience doesn't care. What they care about is seeing these pictures and hearing your story. And your coaches need to see you do it, and they need to be duplicating that as well. So this is the way that I've shared my story on IG stories. I try to do it at least twice a month. I have it in my calendar when I'm going to share my story, and it aligns with my coaching opportunity, and it aligns with my challenge group opportunity. So here's an example of one. I have a picture of me at the bank, and I'm 26 years old, graduated top of my college class, successful banking job. I had drive-through every day and Starbucks daily. That's how I fueled my body. And I felt absolutely miserable. Next slide is me looking in the mirror. I look terrible. I looked in my marker covered mirror, drawings of happy boys, but mama was tired, lonely, and not happy. And so I'm relating to my audience right now. My viewers on my stories are watching this and they're going, either they're in that job or they're that mom looking in the mirror, right? The next one is me at the park, like looking down. I mean, pick a picture that embodies the mood that you're trying to present, right? Me looking down, stepped into stay-at-home mom shoes, feeling like I didn't crush my career goals. And that's really, when I look at that picture, that's really what I see. I see a mom who's like, you know what, I want to take care of this little 4-year-old, but I know in my heart that I have so many skills and talents that I can bring to this world. And while I still want to be a mom, I still want to crush some goals. And that's my target market, is that mom who's like, I've got some bigger dreams. I still want to love on my babies. I still want to be present for my family, but I also want to bring something else to the table. And so that's who I speak to. And specifically knowing that for yourself is really important. Then going into thankful for my healthy babies and mom life, but I knew I had more in me. Kind of driving home. I think this was probably a coaching call to action that I was doing. What did I do? I took a chance on me. I quickly learned that I wasn't taking care of myself. I pushed my dreams aside to go all in into motherhood, and that's okay. But now is the time to start filling my bucket. And then I went into the last slide. I can slay life, motherhood, and career all while taking care of me. Yes, I fill my buckets, but I can fill others. That's crushing life. And so I feel like bringing people, and then yours might look different, and your story might be targeted to a different audience, but you get the concept that you've got to share this like emotional journey with your audience, and not just your daily, like, I did 21-day fix today. I did 80-day obsession, transform 20, day 17. That is not relating to anybody except for other coaches or your challengers. And you're not, I mean, yes, you want to influence your challengers, you want to inspire your challengers, but we do that in groups. Your story should be a place where you are really drawing new people into your circle of influence where they start to take action. And this is a fantastic way to do it. And like I said, I even put these specific slides on this presentation because I wanted it to be simple, duplicatable. If you start creating things that aren't duplicatable, then what's the point? You're going to be the only one doing flashy stories, right? All right. So I put a little quote down there. Don't just show the solution, show how the solution played out. Okay, this is one thing that if you have not, how many of you, have you guys taken this test? Raise your hand if you've taken this test. This is howtofascinate.com. Anybody? Girl, all right, I'm about to challenge y'all. You have to, y'all better be glad you didn't get me late at night, because late at night I'm even more like, I'm a squirrel moments at night. You got me during the day. Howtofascinate.com. There's like a free version. I highly encourage you to invest, and I don't get any profits from this whatsoever, to do the paid version. This will rock your world. This quiz tells you how people best perceive you. And in terms of branding yourself on social media, how people best perceive you is like gold. Because guess what? There are ways that how people don't perceive you well. Which is funny, because what I like to put out there is what people don't really like. I like a really pretty, fun, sexy picture, right? And I'm like, I even did one today, but I did a really good quote with it, so it was good. But people don't best perceive me that way. Mystique is my least liked personality trait based on this quiz. And what is most liked, I'm the people's champion, is how dynamic, inclusive, and engaging. People like Jatana, bouncing around, smiling, happy, standing on the countertop, dancing to Luke Bryan with her shake. Like, that inspires people. Not Jatana going, look at my abs. They don't care about that. They want to be entertained by Jatana. But yours might look different. And so where this really plays in, and especially if you're downline, is when your coaches or even you start imitating what somebody else is doing because you think that's successful. Because you see another successful coach doing it a certain way and you're like, well, I need to do this because this is the way success happens. And that's not the truth. I mean, let's use, and I use this example at Summit and it's hilarious. Let's have a Freaky Friday moment with Melanie Mitro. Mitro. I think I say her name wrong every time. I think I said it wrong on the National Wake Up Call. But Melanie and Jatana, Freaky Friday moment. Okay. Melanie is like polar opposite of me in terms of how we present ourselves on social media. Both super successful coaches, totally different. And so if Melanie were to, and I say this for you or even your downline coaches who might emulate you, and that might not be their best brand. If Melanie were to step on her countertop with her Shakeology and start shaking it, she got like, country girl, shake it for me. And she's shaking it, y'all would be like, are you okay? It just wouldn't be right because that's not Melanie's brand. But what Melanie does works, and it works for her and her brand. Same thing as if I were to jump on my stories and be like, y'all, I got this Moria Cuba Rise Up. If y'all want to, this is really cute though, by the way. This is Moira. I can't even say her name either. Oh, look, Anita's got one too. She's in the club. Hey, has anybody thought like, man, I should have came up with this because I could have made some money, right? Because we were all doing it. But anyways, if I were to get on my story and be like, hey, look, this just tells you about my personality. It's empty. If I were to get on my story and be like, all right, today is Business Tip Tuesday, and I'm going to tell you how to organize your day. My audience would be like, are you going to play Usher and do it at the same time? Because like, that's not you, Jatana. So the reason why I use that example is that there are multiple ways to be successful in this business on Instagram stories, but you got to know who you are and how people best perceive you. And this is color. It comes to how people can best perceive you. So I encourage you, every single time I sign a coach, I give them this quiz and I tell them to take it so I understand. And if you find a people's champion, it's your next star diamond coach. I'm telling you, there's Ruby personalities, people's champion. I think Carl's a people's champion as well. They do really well in the business. Here's some examples. There's contextual stories. There's stories while talking to the camera. If you guys aren't doing IGTV, here's a little secret for Instagram. Engagement, Instagram engagement, and getting your stuff out there. Instagram is pushing IGTV like crazy. I talked to a lot of top Instagram influencers who are really good at what they do, and they're not coaches, they're fashion bloggers and all kinds of things. IGTV is what Instagram is trying to push right now. And so you should be doing IGTV at least twice a week. And putting it on your stories, not on your stories, I'm sorry, on your wall as a piece of, you can see, I haven't done it yet. I'm still working, I'm still learning because I like literally learned this 3 days ago. You can put your IGTV video on your wall along with in the highlights, and that is boosting your engagement because Instagram is like, she's doing it, let's put it out there because we want people to start using IGTV. We want to take over YouTube. We want to take over Facebook, and so Instagram is rewarding your engagement with IGTV. And some ideas that you can have with that is opening up a box. For example, I just got this, hold up. I just got this FabFit Fun box, right? And so this, I don't think this has been released yet, but I got this box, and one example that I can do is go live on my Instagram. It's got to be less than 10 minutes to go on IGTV. And open the box in front of my audience and share value and share my ideas. You could put on eyelashes live. It don't matter. People love to receive value. But that's stuff that you need to put on your IGTV, and you should be doing it at least twice a week because you will boost your, the algorithms will be in your favor on Instagram if you are using that piece of it. This is just, you can take a picture or whatever you want. And most of you guys probably already know this stuff, but it really is it's about quality and not quantity. Have any of you guys seen people's stories where it's like, you start watching and you start tap, oh my gosh, she's still talking. And you like tap, you're like, okay, swipe, I'm done. I can't listen to this girl talk in her car with 15 stories, right? So if you're gonna jump on there and you're gonna talk, like beginning, middle, and end, get to the point, get off, move on. I like to mix it up too. I like to have some videos, some pictures. A great thing that you can do that boosts engagement with your stories and helps your algorithm numbers is doing like I don't know, work with me Wednesday, or what do you want to know Wednesday? People love Q&As, and it creates engagement. It connects people to you that you would have not known otherwise because they ask you a question. You could do things like, what do you want to know about coaching? Like, what are some questions or hesitations you might have? And people will ask you questions about that. But Q&As should be happening weekly. Pick a day of the week, pick a theme, and do a Q&A every single week. Another thing that I like to do is geotagging. I geotag everything. I hide the geotag. My stories show up in stories of cities all over the country. And the great thing about that is you will tap into some cold market, which is important. Another thing that I like to do is I put a little ring around my IG profile picture. I use Photoshop with this little circle. And as you can see here in the highlights, you see Autumn and Kelly and some country singer here. My story sticks out, but it also looks like they never watched it. And so I put the double circle on there so that it pops a little more than everybody else's. And I can get that to Anita if you want it. You guys know all this stuff. Here's another little piece of it that I think has been really effective. I like to brand products around me. I don't like Beachbody to brand me. I don't want to use Energize. I don't want to use Shakeology. I talk about the products and how they affect my life. And so this is something that you can teach your teams to do, is doing the cause and effect of what the products do for you. So here's an example of Energize. I call it Mom Crack. I hate the name of it now. It sounds so awful, but I've already started rolling with it. And I get messages in my DMs and they're like, I want some Mom Crack. Is it legal? I get it. And I'm like, yeah, girl, it's fine. You good. It's just pre-workout. It's just what I called it a long time ago. And then I got to like the band that creates a name. And they're like, I wish I would never name my band that. And they get famous. And you're like, okay, well, I got to stick with it now. I think the chain smokers were that. They hate their name. Sorry, squirrel moment. Okay, so here's a cause and effect of using Energize. First story, it's 5:48 a.m. I'm about to work out. I'm like tired, just got out of bed. Yes, I still have a smoky eye from the night before because I don't wash my face all the time. And I'm saying, I'm tired. I'm going to get up. It's 5:48 in the morning, but I'm going to get this workout in. I just really don't feel like doing it. Second story is strategically Energized, turned around. Nobody knows what's in it. They just see me scooping some bright yellow stuff into my container. And I'm talking about, I'm just going to get my Mom Crack in. And once I get in, I'm going to feel good. Next thing you know, I'm using Hype Type, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Some of my apps that I use to make them fun. And I'm dancing around to probably Ludacris or something. And I'm showing the cause and effect of what Energize does for me. I'm not selling Energize. It's just strategically, it's product placement. My degree is marketing, as you tell. It's product placement in the perfect place that shows the cause and effect of what the product does for me. And that's what moms do. They go, oh my gosh, what is that? I need that in my life. And you can do that in all of our products that you use. If you're a Beach Bar girl and you're like, I always eat those Beach Bars because my jam, then you need to strategically figure out how Beach Bars can be placed into your life so that it's not you going, here, it's got 12 grams of protein, because nobody cares that it's got 12 grams of protein. People care that you're at a soccer game and you're not whipping out Snickers bar, going to the snack machine. You actually have something in your purse that's going to fit in your meal plan. So make sure you're branding those products around you. Call to actions. I feel like this is y'all probably slay this, but just this is kind of an example of what my call to action would look like. I always announce it ahead of time that it's coming the night before, and that I'm going to be doing it at 9 a.m. on my stories. You guys, I have viewers of my stories who were like, I get up and have my coffee and watch you. Like, that's weird to me, but hey, I love the fact that they get up. And some of them have never bought from me ever, but they get up and watch me every single morning because they're entertained by it. And eventually I will touch their heart and I will get to a place where they want to jump in with me. This is just what some of my stories would look like in terms of CTAs. FOMO is where it's at with stories. If you guys aren't doing FOMO, it's amazing. Everyone knows what FOMO is, like fear of missing out. Like, I literally had to ask somebody once when I saw it. I was like, what is FMFO, whatever. It's fear of missing out. And this is really an old school presentation. You can make it look a lot prettier now with all the different apps that they have. But literally, this is just my notepad and my phone. But as people either ask me questions or say, I'm in on the challenge group, I screenshot it, I cover their, well, I didn't hear, but I would cover their face, I cover their name, and be like, she's in, she's in, she's in. And that's where it just starts, the momentum starts to happen, and people don't want to be left out of what they're already intrigued about. And so I make sure I do a lot of FOMO after my call to action. Some of my top apps that I use, I love Hype Type. That's how I make the music with the sped up video. We don't even need Cut Story anymore. Unfold is beautiful. If you want it to look really pretty with a video and a picture, you can use Unfold. InShot is one of my regular go-tos. And if you ever wanted to do a grid, you know, if you ever looked at somebody's Instagram and it's like one big picture with like 9 stories or 9 posts, that is the app Grids. Sorry. Here's an example of Hype Type and how you can speed it up, add words, make it fun. Word Swag, obviously we've all used that. It has a crop with the 9:16 filter, and then not filter, what's that called? Structure, 9:16 structure for stories. And then you also have Snapseed, which is how I make it like more grittier and fun looking on my stories. But most importantly, and I want to go to Q&A if you have any questions, don't be vanilla on Instagram. Like, be intentional, be creative. Remember those 2 feet that I talked about? Like, you got to take action and do it, but you also got to learn and become different and stand out. Like, don't be all the other coaches. Be different, be you. Speak to your person and don't deviate from that. And have fun. And most importantly, be follow worthy, right? Would you follow you? Would you, if you're getting bored with you, then I bet you your audience is getting bored. So that's kind of my top tips with IG stories. Are there any questions that I can answer for you guys? I see some comments in the chat. Or sorry, Anita, if you want to.
Yeah, I'll read out some questions.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you say, it's from Chelsea, what would you say to those who do an ongoing challenge group?
Oh, like if there's not a separate theme?
Yeah.
I'd ask her, girl, how do you keep that spicy? I would have a hard time. Who asked that one? Where are you at? Where are you at, boo? Chelsea, tell me about it. You can unmute yourself.
Hello. Yeah, so I'm fairly new to the ongoing theme. I was kind of reading what people wrote after I read that. I guess Sam said that she just does a new theme each month. So I just started doing an ongoing challenge group starting back about 2 months ago. And it has a lot more like action in it. It's actually a lot better, I would say. Because the new group every month, it just took a lot of time. And yeah, so I was kind of wondering how you would say to, like, I don't know, re-promote it. But then I guess Sam kind of already answered my question. She just does a new theme each month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you could create a new theme for your actual group. Like, hey, this month, you guys, we're going to read Miracle Morning together. And then when you go to do your marketing for it, because I create marketing plans, I have the group and I create a marketing plan 2 weeks out. And my social media is tailored around that, and I breadcrumb it through it. And then I go into I do hard bread or soft breadcrumbs, hard breadcrumbs, call to action. So I'd say if you have an ongoing group, just know you have to hit Success Club. You got to recruit 3 to 5 people, right, each month. What are you going to do to draw those people into getting back into your group? And I'm sure you're already doing that. You just have to be really strategic with your stories.
Definitely. I think I just got to nail down a timeline of like, okay, we're going to be inviting for challengers. Well, I'm always inviting for challengers, like on like behind the scenes, but I want to be more specific about when I'm doing that, because when you're promoting a new group, it's so easy. It's like timeline. But yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. My husband said that he just died a little from that desktop.
Desktop? What desktop? Oh, my desktop. Yeah, I'm a mess. Sorry.
Let's see here. I'm the same way, and he is OCD. I just redid. Okay, what are some ideas for IGTV?
IGTV should be a ton of value. I wouldn't look at mine as an example because I'm just starting to dive into it, but I will start slaying it, I promise you. If you get boxes the subscriptions, like for example, I showed you the FabFitFun. That's a great one because it has nothing to do with your Beachbody programs, but you're adding value. If there's a product you love, you're like, y'all, this face mask is you got to try it. Here's how you use it. You know how many people would watch me put my eyelashes on? They'd be like, just show me how to put this lashes on, because I question my salvation sometimes when I put them on. I get so angry and frustrated. Y'all are like, wait, what are you talking about? Anyways, anything you can do to add value. So if you have a jam, my jam is how to do a beach wave, how to apply eyelashes, what kind of box that I got in mail. Did you get an Amazon box or your Beachbody gifts? You get gifts in the mail. Go live about it. Go live about your story. That should be on, that's my next to-do list, is to do an IG live about my story. That needs to be on there. Anything you would have gone live about. Meal prepping, that's another example. People are so curious about how to make this simplified and how to meal prep. We've got new programs coming out with the Ultimate Portion Fix. And so as you start to adapt and learn that, share it on IG stories to help.
Yes. Okay. Are you part of any comment pods or follow groups?
I am not. I heard that Instagram knows when you're part of things like that. I think that there's people that do them on WhatsApp. I'm not a part of any of them. I see fashion bloggers do it because I follow a few fashion bloggers because I emulate a lot of what they do, because what they're doing in their industry is working. And so I'm like, what they're doing is working. I wonder if I can translate that over to fitness, right? And so I follow a few of them, and I know they're doing giveaways and stuff like that. So I'm not a part of any pods. I do have an IG assistant who helps me build my following, and I should probably cover some of that. There's two ways that I've built my following from, 800 followers to 160,000. I think I just broke this morning. One is super organically, like me laying in my bed, legit sitting on the toilet, laying in the bed, sitting at a stoplight, sitting at Target kind of jam. That is hashtag. I follow hashtags. So for example, I'll follow the hashtag Blonde Bob, even though I have hair extensions now. Blonde Bob used to be my jam. Or even now, I'll follow hair extensions. Or hashtag Kate Canaveral, because I just moved here. And when I go to those hashtags, it populates my news feed. I think that's what you call it on IG, my news feed. I don't like to follow people. I like to follow hashtags. And as I see, I'm going to just use an example, even though I don't have a bob anymore. I see this girl, she just got her hair cut. She's looking super cute. She posted a picture on Instagram. She just got out of the salon. She got the beach waves going on. She's got 16 likes on her picture. I like the picture. I do the Shalene Johnson of commenting on 2, liking 3, whatever that ratio is, follow. But my biggest thing is I want to create engagement with her. So I want to message her and be like, girl, how did you curl your hair with the short blonde bob? That's baller. Because I can't get my hair to look like that. And it's an instant connection on something totally separate from Beachbody. So for me, I set a goal of 30 people a day that I'm going to connect with, no matter what. I don't care if I'm laying in bed with the flu, I got 30 people, and it's so easy. Literally I could be sick and laying in bed okay, hey girl, what's up? How are you? You look super cute. Where'd you get those capri pants? Where'd you get those shoes? Just making a ton of connections with like-minded people. And that's how I organically create a following and a tribe of people that I connect with. And then you can also outsource it. I do not use apps. I'm scared to death of them. I feel like they are putting my IG at risk. And so that just might be my control freak thing. So I have a personal person that I use that helps build my Instagram engagement outside of that. And it's been great. Oh, there you go. Are you using hashtags in your stories too? I think I've noticed less hashtags use in the IG accounts with more followers. I don't do a lot of hashtag use. I do locations, because I feel like when people are either on vacation, especially where I live now, which is more of a vacation to Cocoa Beach, people go on vacation here, they might scroll through the Cocoa Beach stories. And so I'll tag my location, but I don't do a lot of hashtags. Honestly, when I go to hashtags on stories, it's literally a bunch of network marketers. I mean, mom, boss, mom life. I mean, you're going to get all network marketers in that. So I do more locations so that my stuff randomly shows up, and you can do your locations anywhere. They don't have to be where you're actually located.
Where did you find your IG assistant?
It was through a friend of a friend, somebody who lives out in LA, and they shared the contact with me. And this person was a photographer, and he was using it for his photography business. And so I was like, I'll try it. And I mean, I can't give you the name. I'll share. But yeah, I interviewed him a little bit, and we had some bumps. You know, I was getting some weirdos on my IG. I'm like, okay, can we like narrow this down? Because I don't want people from Iran following me. There's no point, because I can't make him a coach, and I can't sell him a challenge pack. And that's what I told him. I was like, if I can't make him a coach and I can't sell him a challenge pack, there's no point in them following me. It's just blank space. And so we really had to narrow down who I wanted to target. And I told him, so if you do start working with somebody, if you find somebody you trust or want to use, I told him I want to specifically focus on like people who follow Babies R Us, people who follow, what was the one? Live, Love, Shop, or Fat, Fit, Fun, like things that I would want to follow. Those followers, those people that I want. And I can even go into those followers. Like I can go into Live, Love, Shop, which makes those cute graphic tees, which I get suckered into. Oh, Beachy Dolls, you guys. Don't follow Beachy Dolls. You'll be shopping there every day through their IG stories. But I go to the Beachy Dolls followers, like who follows Beachy Dolls, and I find people through that, and that's who he targets as well through my account.
How many hours does your assistant work for you? The IG assistant.
IG assistant, you know what? I don't know. I pay a flat rate of, for a while there I was paying $250. I think I pay $400 now, because as my income goes up, my investment into my marketing is important. So I pay $400 a month, and he guarantees a certain amount of followers a month and a certain amount of engagement. There's an engagement rate where you should stay above 4%, meaning based on your followers and based on your comments and likes, you should be around 4%. And so that's, yeah. I pay him a flat rate per month. I don't pay per hour. What else?
Does your IG assistant do the same thing? Hashtags and comment or anything else? I'm hiring one next week.
I do. I'm very controlling when it comes to that. I do all my commenting, all my posting, all my hashtags. This person goes in and, I'm sorry, when I say commenting, I mean commenting on comments that hit my posts. He goes in and he will comment on other people's stuff for me. So he does have access to my account. He will go in and comment on other people's posts for me. And that takes some interviewing and him getting to know who I am and how I talk. Because the last thing I want is him to like comment on some mom and be like, hey, some stupid. I want him to be Jatana, because when they come to my page, I want them to want to come to my page. And so it takes that interviewing process to make sure they really know who you are and what you're all about and how you would talk. The kids are coming home soon. Anything else?
Okay, so last question from Desiree. What do you do to boost engagement on your posts?
Boost engagement on my posts. I use hashtags, but I'm not really good at them. I try to put good quality content out there. I try to post at a time frame where I know people are going to be engaging. And then I also have somebody who works my Instagram account who, I don't know what he does. I don't know what he does, but my posts get out there and it starts fluctuating through the channels. The one thing that you want is to see your stuff in the highlights. There's a highlight page and you want your stuff out there, because that's when cold market people are like, wait, especially my videos. My videos, they go bananas. Because when you're looking through the highlight page, you see this chick like dancing, you're like, I want to click on it. So you click on it and you watch her, it's engaging, either think she's annoying or you like her. And if you like her, will start following or comment. The people that don't. But in terms of engagement, hashtags, but I really, the only way I can get engagement is if I've created a community around my Instagram. You know what I mean? Where people are just like, I like Jatana. Like, she's fun, she's playful, She's encouraging. She's real. And I just want to support her, and I like her. And the only way you create that is being consistent in your stories, bringing people into your life, being real and authentic, and sharing your story consistently. And people will love on you, and they'll continue to support you. So
awesome. And I agree for sure. All right, guys, so we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much. I have so many notes, and I know all of us were very hungry and needed a lot of Instagram help. So I'm so grateful for you, Jatana. And I will see you tonight at 9 p.m.
Yay, I'm so excited.
I will be awake. I got up at 4 a.m. today, so I'm like, oh my God.
You got this. Get some energized, girl.
Yes. All right, guys. We'll see you.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.